Cool. Time is it? Okay. So I'm about to start. All right, here we go. Okay. I'm sorry, guys. Please bear with me.
What you drinking, Tina?
A mudslide.
Mommy
told me that those were grandma's favorites, so I learned how to make them.
Yeah, they good.
Bueno, mi gente, primeramente, buenas noches. My name is Mario Jose Pagán Morales. I am a títere poet, part of a writing collective from the community. I would like to thank you for joining us in La Esquina Open Mic. I would like to start with a poem. Instructions for my funeral. Don't burn me in no steel furnace. Burn me in abuelita's garden. Wrap me in blue, white, and blue, a la mierda patriotismo. Douse me in the cheapest gin. Whatever you do, don't judge my home. Cut my bones with a machete till I'm finest dust. Wrap my pito in panties so I dream of pisar. Please, no priest, no crosses, no flowers. Steal a flask and stash me inside. Blast music, dressed to impress. Please be drunk. Miss work y pisen otra vez. Bust out the drums, the army struts. Bust out the guitars, guerrilleros strummed, and listen to the war inside. Please, no American mierdas. Carouse the procession dancing to the pier. Moor me in a motorboat. De veras que sea una lancha driven by a 9-year-old son of a fisherman. Scud to the center of the Ernesto de Jaltepec. Read como tú and toss pieces of bread as the motorboat circles. Open the flask so I'm breathed like a jacaranda, like a flower de mayo, like an alcatraz. Then forget me and let me drift. Thank you for coming to this evening's open mic. Thank you, thank you. That poem was by Javier Zamora from the latest Latinx Breakbeats Poetry. Please get a copy. There's some really cool poets from our community here. So thank you. Guys, give me a second. I got kicked out. I don't know what the hell happened over here. Guys, I am so sorry. I got completely kicked off on my end. I was having technical issues. I do apologize. Can you guys hear me? I feel like an idiot.
Just don't apologize, bro.
I got lost with everything. I apologize. Okay, so let's start off the open mic. I want to invite this sister up who is amazing. She's doing amazing work as a teacher. I don't know if you guys follow her on Facebook. She has this thing she does every morning on Instagram where she comes in as Miss Maud and she gives prompts for the day. So I would like to invite someone who I actually met at Great Weather for Media. So up to the mic is Fly Vida. Where are you, Fly Vida? There she is.
Hello. Here, I'm sorry. My dog is kind of flipping out right now. Hi, I have my friend Trissy Barnes joined me. Hello. Yes, I'm a teacher with the NYC DOE. I thank you so much for bringing me up first. I have a disjointed relationship with the testing system, but I've learned one thing from there. I will drop the handle in there. It is Miss Maud Teaches. It is not Maud like M-A-U-D-E. It is M-O-D. Miss Maud Teaches. Okay. There is no time for unnecessary testing. All this time invested into minds that are already on overload. Instead, let's decode. Let's start teaching to learn instead of teaching to test, where the rest of the information is lost in translation. Somewhere between science and math, we forgot about poetry and dance that is actually a stimulant to prevent and circumvent a student who is discontent with their performance because the test told them so, that they have no achievement, effort, or growth. Instead, let's try using assessment that's authentic. Move past the standard deviation of the bell curve that prevails whether a student passes or fails. Let's push them to the left side of the curve in their brain. Drop the acronyms that tear us limb from limb: IEP, GED, ADHD, ADD, NOFUCKING, MORE. Drop the acronyms that tear us limb from limb. These exams have been tried and acquitted while the rest of us have been committed to the insane asylum for grades admitted and resubmitted. Let's break the chains that bind us. And for a minute, try to find us in this system that's called testing. The entire person to begin assessing, because the brain gets tired sometimes. Amidst these disarray desks and my hair's a mess and I haven't looked in the mirror all day. But I will confess, it is worth all the stress. In gold, a happy teacher's worth her weight. Thank you so much.
Yes, yes.
That was awesome. Thank you so much. So guys, here's the thing. Let me give you some house rules and also some things that I'm gonna be asking you to do for me. So we want to keep it to 3 minutes. You know, if you have a piece, you know, at least 3.5, 4 minute pieces. Also, what I'm gonna ask is, tell me where you're coming at. Where are you? Where are you located? And also, what are you listening to now? What music are you listening to? I'm interested. I need my catalog to get bigger. So, thank you, Fly Vida. She was actually our first feature at Mil Mundos. She's amazing. Thank you for the work that you do as a teacher. Also, I don't think you guys get the praise that you deserve. So, to all the teachers in the room, thank you again.
I
Next,
very much thank you so.
you're welcome.
I
You
think
guys. Where are you calling me from?
I'm calling from the Bronx.
Yep.
My parents are calling from Albany.
Oh,
So
Albany,
I say we to like incorporate my parents and I. So my parents are from Albany. They're from Queens of Brooklyn, but I'm in the Bronx. So I'm a little C baby of that.
I hear you. Thank you. Thank you again for the work that you do.
Thank you so much.
Okay, let's keep it moving. So next poet to the mic, I see a couple of names here that I've never seen before, and that's what I love about spaces like this. So I'm gonna call this brother up. If I mispronounce your name, please pronounce it for me, because I think names are important, and I make sure that people say my name correctly. So next poet to the mic, Jeru.
Hold up.
You got
What's
it.
up? Yeah, that's actually my name is actually Buttered Roll. That's the
Awesome.
name and handle I perform under. What's good, everybody? Thank you for having me.
Thank you for joining. I have a piece called Butter Roll, by the way.
For real?
Yeah.
Oh shit, we got a collab, man.
Definitely.
Absolutely. Wow. Holy shit, that's
Yeah.
great.
Yep.
I'm coming at you guys from Hoboken, New Jersey, birthplace of Frank Sinatra.
Yep.
What were the other questions? I like.
What are you listening to? What music are you listening to right now?
That's right. And roller skating. Also love roller skating. A lot of aggressive music. A lot of aggressive and depressing shit. One band specifically, Death Grips, that I've been listening to a lot of. If you're into like aggressive hip hop music, that's probably gonna be right up your alley then.
Nice. I'll look into that. All right, the mic is yours, my brother.
Absolutely. So I got I guess like a short piece of prose for you guys today. It's actually based on a true story. What a catchphrase. One of the first times I met the man was at a party. He disappeared before midnight, which was noticeable as his presence prior to his disappearance had become quite comic. Upon first impression, he was quite the showman. Sometime after midnight, we found him on his back, his bare feet protruding from under the bathroom stall. We found the rest of him when we opened the stall door, unconscious. One shoe a few feet from his head and the other missing. To say that he had made a mess would be quite the understatement. The missing shoe was found in the shower about 10 feet from the man, sitting upright, a shiny white with a Nike stripe and a sleek but solid turd right where the toes would be. We had just met, and this man had already taken a shit on his own shoe I regret not giving him a round of applause. Nicodemus Constantinopoulos was the man's name. Although maybe the word boy is a bit more accurate. Each of us still had too many brain cells to be considered men. There were a few notches on our headboards, and we had hair in all the right places, but we were still way too optimistic to be considered men. It's probably unnecessary for me to mention that. We gathered Nikos from the floor and found him a bed to die on until the morning. I retired shortly after, and by retired, I mean that I stumbled the mile plus to the other side of the campus where I lived with a dude who had had a girlfriend since the day he was born. A few hangovers later, I ran into Nikos in a similar social situation. We were both lubricated, but not yet fucked. Of course, I had to mention the circumstances in which I had last seen him, his disrespect for his own footwear. And to my pleasant surprise, the man did not have 1 ounce of shame. I looked at him and I said, "Damn, Nikos, what the fuck happened?" He put his arm around my shoulder in a very Mediterranean way, and with a somewhat hysterical smile, he delivered his signature catchphrase to me for the very first time. And I quote, "You know what, Jay? Means nothing to me." Thanks, guys.
Thank you, Jeru. Awesome. Cool. Amazing. Okay, so next poet to the mic is an amazing poet. I adore her. She's awesome. I don't know if she got my message. I think. Oh, cool. Next poet to the mic, Mariana.
Hi.
Hi.
I didn't know. You were like, you're up next, sis. And I'm like, oh, okay. Hi, I'm Mariana. Some of you may know me, a lot of you don't. I live in Jackson Heights, Queens. I don't know if you can hear the old school salsa. It's great. Every weekend they're like these viejitos who congregate on the corner. But I'm in Jackson Heights, Queens. What am I listening to? A lot of weird shit. But I found a cool band called Little Dragon. They're pretty cool. I don't know much about the album because I fell asleep to it. Like I played it, but it was like nice. It was like electronica or something. Cool. So I'm just gonna read a poem that I wrote, and I'm grateful for Rich Viad and the team and Isa and all the homies who go to La Cocina workshop. So I'm gonna read that. This one is called Self-Portrait a la mitad del mundo, after Eduardo C. Corral. I'm an epicenter, crawling its way back to chaos, my first lover. I'm cubic zirconia, the brightest hood diamond, culo de botella seen from every border. I'm shit-stained yet smell of blue 40 mistolin. Fuck your chemical-free, I'm still organic and lavender. I loathe emperors but love their kingdoms. I'm mendiga and glamour. I'm an earth void of seasons. Afterbirths belong to stillborns here. I'm the last taco truck standing in front of a wet brick wall of white sharks wearing face masks. I'm an alligator dipped in fake gold staring out the furniture store window. I'm a conversation piece. I'm auntie and a good lay, boring and fly by surprise. I'm the only bata that came back from the motherland. I'm a ghost who misses breathing. I'm lungs with mashed potatoes for a liver, thanks to 10 days of Tylenol. The doctors told me home is the best place to die. I'm the tiniest corner, la mitad del mundo, and essential to the entire planet. I'm bony fingers traveling from forehead to chest to left and right shoulder. I'm prayer born in the hands of a lonely woman, fucking herself out of an insomnia until the birds chirp. The next piece is my last piece is I went to a cool workshop this week about Frank O'Hara from the Poetry Society of New York. If y'all are interested, they have really dope and very affordable um I was gonna say podcasts, um workshops, and this one was on Frank O'Hara. So this is after one of his poems, and basically the prompt was, if y'all want to do it, I'll share, is write a whole bunch of facts and a whole bunch of metaphors, and then like you switch it up. So yeah, this is it's called I believe I called it Untitled. Hold on. Yeah, Untitled. I wear a Frida Kahlo shirt to the White Castle where the man online asked, "Who is the wrinkly woman on my tits?" I wear sunsets to my living room. I suck at metaphors and lying. I want peace for the 6-year-old living next door. I want her mother to stop calling her estúpida. I don't have a cape, but I want to stop the trauma mid-sentence. I take my eyes, leaking water balloons, to the living room carpet. My brother tells me he found it in the trash. It's from a country we never been to. I want the life outside my dying hood to keep bumping, for the Ecuadorian waltzes and cumbias of yore to keep pulsating. I want fights that knock down bikes, barking bitches and fruit ladies secretly selling dried pork rinds. I step out for victuals covered like a nun. The viejo on the corner blasts dead salsa singers on the corner of a now empty Catholic Charities. I resuscitate a memory of an ex who looked outside my window once. Babe, there's so much life here. It makes me want to cry. Baby, I'm grateful too. The apocalypse here is so fucking cool.
Thank you so much. That's it.
Awkward silence.
That's nothing more to say. The apocalypse is so fucking cool.
Cool.
Awesome. Thank you,
All
my
right.
sister.
Thanks.
Love you.
Bye.
All right. So the next poet to the mic is a brother that I had an opportunity. I heard about him when I was a baby poet, and I always wanted to go to the Bronx, right? But when you live by Coney Island, going up to the Bronx is the equivalent of our friends in the Bronx wanting to come down to Brooklyn to open mics.
That's end to end.
Yeah, so it's crazy. So one night, Rebel Poet, who's in the room, was like, "Yo, this is the last day, bro. You gotta go and say what's up to the brother." So I want to ask El David, who's up next, is who's doing amazing work up. I'm gonna say sorry ahead of time. I think he's in Chicago now. Am I correct?
Yeah.
He has continued the work that he started in the Bronx, and he's taken it up to Chicago. He's one of the elders in the community, someone that I highly respected, who received me with open arms when I went to the south of France. So I would like to say thank you for joining us, and tell us a little bit about the stuff that's happening up in Chi-Town.
Well, right now we're doing mostly a nonprofit called the Urban Beat Poet Society, and it's a foundation where we're gonna raise funds to promote the arts, and through music, through anthologies, workshops, and special events. So yeah, that's what we're working on. We got our first open mic in June. I can't announce the feature yet, but it's a good one. It's a really good one. Yeah. But we also, like always, when we were in New York, we were proud of the fact that we stopped the charging for people to get in, because we were able to do that and still pay the artists. So we want to try to continue that here as best as we can. So we're gonna be able, we're gonna try. We're also gonna put out another album with different poets with music, to raise
Nice.
money to be able to bring more poets to be featured. You know, we want to make sure our features get paid.
Nice. So the mic is yours, brother.
All right, man. I survived La Correa, the Pecosa, the Cocotazo, and La Chancla. I knew the sting of corporal punishment before I knew the warmth of a hug. I experienced welts on my body from mommy's hand before experiencing scrapes and paper cuts. The smell of cuero like the leather on the belt mommy used as a whip to lash pelas still triggers an irrepressible fear. I heard the sharp whistle of La Correa before I heard the words, I love you. I was the baby of La Familia, so I watched as my siblings received worse. To this day, they are quick to point out that I didn't catch it as bad as they did. As if there was an order of acceptability in abuse. As if the pain of watching your loved ones thrashed left no scars. As if a child cares that his fela was not as bad as another's fela. He just knows that he was beat by the most loved guardian and protector. She loved me, I'm sure. But she fooled herself into thinking the ends justified the means. She fooled herself into thinking the pain fades to black, that only visible scars were real, that invisible scars don't stink. And mommy, it did not hurt you more than it hurt me. And no, mommy, I didn't want you to give me something to cry about. Each time a new scar is mapped in our subconscious. If only we did not attempt to tame flames with fuel. It's not okay, it's not okay, it's not okay. But we who survive it become conditioned to think it is. We fail to make the connection to the silence after abuse by lovers, officers, power fiends. Some of us laugh it off because we survived La Correa, the Pecosa, the Cocotazo, and La Chancla. Maybe no one would normalize it if we face the fact that some did not survive.
Mm. Thank you, my brother. Thank
Got
you
it,
for
man.
joining us. Appreciate you.
Appreciate you, brother. Thank you.
All right. So next poet to the mic. You know, honestly, what I love about this platform, even though I'd rather be at a lounge and around my friends and talking and, you know, just catching up, is that we have the opportunity to link up from different parts in the state, you know, so that's a beautiful thing. So next poet to the mic is going to be my fellow Títere poet. Actually, Ramon, are you there?
Hi, I'm here. Yeah,
Hi,
Ramon
Ramon.
Jimenez.
Yes, you're
How's it
up, my
going?
brother. So again, tell me where you're calling from and what are you listening to before you start?
All right. My name is Ramon Jimenez. I'm coming from Seattle, Washington, but I'm originally from LA. And every day I question why I'm in Seattle, Washington. But hey,
Gotcha.
whatever.
How did you learn about the open mic? I'm just curious.
Facebook. No, Instagram. I
Instagram.
follow
Okay.
this poet from New York, Elizabeth Vasquez.
Oh, Elizabeth Vasquez. Yes. Nice.
Yeah.
Cool.
She was promoting it, so I said, "Oh, I'm gonna try to check this out."
Nice.
Yeah.
Thank you for joining us, man.
Thank you for having me.
All right.
And so music that I've been listening to, I listen to cumbia, I listen to reggae, and since I'm Mexican, once in a while I throw on some corridos, some banda, you know, and I put on my sombrero and just roll, you know, just kind of dance a little bit in my apartment. So
Nice.
that's kind of what keeps me sane through all this.
Awesome. All right,
All
brother.
right,
The
so
mic
let
is
me
yours.
share. All right, I'm gonna share two poems. The first one is titled Don't. If I tell you about me, my name, ethnicity, and hometown, don't change your voice around me and pretend to speak my lingo or what you assume is my lingo. Don't use words like orale, homies, barrio, vato. And don't ask me for the good stuff while talking about some connect that you have in New York. I don't slang and I don't bang and I never did, nor do any of my friends. See, they're too busy working on careers, completing graduate degrees, taking care of families, too occupied to fit into these narrow, one-sided depictions generated from movies and newsreels, don't say you're on my side or that you're not prejudiced. When you too were scared to visit my hood, puzzled as to why people have bars on their windows, pit bulls and rots in the front yards, knowing good and well that the cops don't provide protection, on social media, you are so woke. But at the gas station on Imperial and Central, you were so terrified, clinching to your pockets. All right, let's do one more. So I like to write about everything, but I really like to write about places I've been, travel. I'm Mexican, but I got the chance to go to Argentina, and that was the biggest trip in my lifetime. Go to the other side of the continent, see what life was like there. I had a crazy experience over there, so I wrote this poem in reflection to that. It's called The Only Part of You That Wasn't Colonized. In the neighborhood of San Telmo in Buenos Aires, Sundays are festive with the rhythm and movements of crowds. Streets of commerce, all matters of exchange. You can buy fruits, good wines, olives, even a pipe and a dime bag of dried Paraguayan ganja from a Colombian guy named Ceniza. When people think of Buenos Aires, they think of Italy, Germany, France, Malbecs and fine pizza slices with caramelized onions, well-postured dancers moving gracefully to the sound of the milonga. But I ended up in the Afro-Cultural Center, away from stereotypes of steak, choripan, and yerba mate. These men, they played on drums, and for some reason, only the women danced. Out of pressure, I too joined in. The men stopped the music, and the lead singer told me, "You see, those moves are the only part of you that wasn't colonized. Don't ever lose it." But to this day, I wonder if he was right. What have I lost, and what did I preserve? Scripture, stories, dialect, knowledge, concept, all parts of me that remain in me, but I cannot unlock them. What did I preserve from those pre-Columbian times? A beat, the swing of my hips, 2 quick feet. I look in the mirror, my long face, my graying hair, the red hairs on my chin, my skin tan in the arms in the summer, but my legs are still pale when I roll up my pants to the kneecap. When I speak, only words from European languages come out of my mouth. I guess I'm still searching to know what part of me wasn't colonized. Thank you.
Ooh. Gracias for joining us, brother.
Thank you for the chance, for the opportunity.
You got it. Nice. All right, next poet to the mic. So you know, I was blessed with a little sister, but I think I was also blessed with a little brother, and that's exactly what he is to me. He's my pain in the ass, and I love him to death. So next poet to the mic, Anthony Rivera. I can't hear you, puppy. There you go.
There you go. You hilarious.
Of course.
But I guess I deserve it. I want to start off by saying, primeramente, we in the fucking building. Tita Poets, rings up. That's right. We here. We in the building. My name is Anthony Rivera. I guess in true Tita fashion, my name is Anthony Rivera, aka Play a Poet, aka Shut the Fuck Up and Listen. But nobody likes when I say that. So I hail from Williamsburg, Brooklyn. I miss the neighborhood. I'm sure the people who still live there also miss the neighborhood. And I'm living in Newark, New Jersey. I can tell you 2 things that you should be listening to. Joyner Lucas, who's a rapper, very underrated. He just dropped this like Will Smith. That was a banger. And Run the Jewels. You gotta listen to Run the Jewels. Those motherfuckers is woke. Killer Mike. You know who Killer Mike is? I guess I should just get into the meat and potatoes, right?
Please do.
Too much. This is an untitled piece. It had a title, but the poem went in a different direction, so I scratched the title. Shout out to D-Bird, who was like, "Yo, you're gonna write this shit, bitch," and so I wrote it. It's called Chapter 3 in D-Bird's book. How about that? Sometimes I sit and think too much. My colonized mind tells me when I ask questions about my perceived barbarianism. Am I human? Am I equal? I ask myself, only if I make money is the answer my colonized mind answers. I should love my disposition because others have it worse. Like the frog and the scorpion. But who has it worse? Those who are destined to die or those who are destined to kill? Capitalism replies, whoever makes more profit. I had to learn early that the old way was the new idea. Dark skin equals wild savage, like a storm wind. And light skin equals right to enslave, like a windmill.
You're not feeling well.
So I take up arms outstretched to catch this wind and shackle its power to make it my own. Call me Babylon, call me Britain, call me Egypt, call me America. Their books are my blueprints. Its people, my foundation, their bones, my walls, their sweat, my streets, their blood, my legacy. I, mixed race, always impure, claim my birthright to make you all my bitches by the power those who have bitched me. I am, so fuck you, pay me. The burn of my poison inflames your soul, and remember, you deserve it. Once a frog, now the scorpion. I stopped asking about equality and demanded equity in stocks. Give me your flesh, you soulless collection of sinews and cartilage. I give you my image. Trade it for food. Trade it for shelter. Fuck you for not making me your God, for feeding your revolutions and housing your still beating hearts with my image. Ungrateful. In the end, you, O frog, die in this pool, and I right after. This new idea to be like white has cursed my home, my community, my neighborhood. I ate my people's dreams and became the nightmare that condemned us all. And all I have left to say in my colonized mind is, it is my nature as I drown in the white of this pool.
Awesome, bro. Thank you so much, man. I appreciate that. So, next poet to the mic, just graduated from college. Congratulations to him. He's the artistic director of everything we do here in La Esquina and with the Títere Poets. Without further ado, Isa Guzman.
Oh, thank you so much. Yes, I am the artist coordinator of the Títere Poets. I love the title. Better than the first title that we had.
What was it? What was it again? Was it like
Artsy Títere?
Artsy Títere.
Yeah. Not so fun. Thank you all for coming in tonight. This is so amazing to have so many people here. So much amazing work so far. I want to recite two pieces, and there's a specific reason why I want to recite these two pieces. There are two tribute pieces. One is from a different writer, and one of them is from myself. I'll read the poem that was the initial inspiration for the poem I wrote, my own poem. Aracelis Gourmet is an amazing Afro-Boricua poet, and she wrote this poem called Night for Henry Dumas. Night for Henry Dumas. Henry Dumas was a poet back in the 50s, 60s, a Black man who was unfortunately murdered by police violence. Today, 5/23 is the anniversary of that death. So I think it's only right to bring him into the space. Night for Henry Dumas. Henry Dumas, 1934 to 1968, did not die by a spaceship or flying saucer or outer space at all, but was shot down at 33 by a New York City transit policeman. Will be shot down May 23rd, coming home in just 6 days by a New York City transit policeman. In the subway station, singing and thinking of a poem. What he's about to eat, will be, was, is, right now, shot down. Happening yesterday. Happened tomorrow. Will happen now. Under the ground and above the ground. At Lenox and 125th in Harlem, Tennessee, Memphis, New York, Watts, Queens, 1157 Wheelers Avenue, San Quentin, above which sky swings down a giant rope, says, climb me into heaven, or follow me home. And Henry, and Amadou, and Malcolm, and King, and the night hangs over the men and their faces, and the night grows thick above the streets. I swear it is more blue, more black tonight, with the men going up there. Bring the children out to see who their uncles are.
Mm.
Thank you.
Can you tell us, did you mention who Henry Dumas was, Isa?
Yes, poet from the 50s and 60s, died at 33 years old, amazing Black poet. Definitely read his stuff if you can. He died under mysterious circumstances. They did not investigate it. There was no justice. And Aracelis brings that out in a fashion where we're reminded, like, this police violence has been always happening. And through a prompt that was actually done and created by Rich Vial a couple of years ago during our session in SOPA, we, the Títere poets and the people who had attended the SOPA class at that time, were asked to write night poems ourselves for those who had suffered from police violence. We are still continuing that project, surprisingly, all these years later, in varying different ways. As for myself, like, and I'm about to recite my next poem now, I'm taking those night poems as a kind of tribute poem to everyone who suffered under violence within our society, like police violence, state violence, absolutely. Societal violence is also there. And in this case, it's a societal violence against people who are outcasted even by our own communities, unfortunately. And I'm turning a night to the LGBT community. I wrote this poem called Night for Venus Extravaganza. For those of you who know who Venus is, you probably saw Burning in Paris, Paris is Burning, an amazing film about the ballroom scene from back in the 70s and 80s. Venus's birthday was actually yesterday. If she had lived, she would have been 52 years old. Unfortunately, she passed away. Let me read that poem. Night for Venus Extravaganza. Venus Extravaganza, 1965 to 1988. Did not die of old age, surrounded by her chosen family, nor on stage in strut motion, but was strangled at 23 by an unknown John. Will be choked and stuffed under a bed December 21st in another hustle gone wrong by an unknown John in a sleazy motel slinging love and thinking about her next dress, how much her next meal will be, when will the next gig be, where was the last place she slept, and right now, choked, happening yesterday, happened tomorrow, will happen again now, under the city and above the city, at the Duchess Hotel in New York, Baltimore, Humacao, Chihuahua City, Alabama, Texas, Sioux Falls, Parque de la Ciudadela, New Orleans, Ithaca, San Antonio, Charlotte, Bushwick, Colorado, Times Square, Point Breeze, Colum, Miami, Atilixco, Tao Baja, above which the sky swings down a runway of song, which sings, walk with me into heaven, or follow me home, to Hector, to Angie, to Lorena, to Sonia, and Amanda and Brandon and Leticia and Sweet Maria, y Agnes, y Yampi, y Serena, y Leila, y Alexa, and the countless of other trans women and men of whom the night becomes their name, and the night grows thicker with every new name, so thick one could tailor an infinity of suits, an infinity of dresses. I swear to wear each one of them and sing myself into our truths. Thank you so much.
Oh man, that was awesome. That was beautiful. I think that Papo Swiggy says it best, right? Let's write about each other. You know, there's so many voices out there that we haven't heard from. There's so many stories to write about, and people who, you know, that have made an impact in our communities. And you know, I want to thank whoever writes about them, because you know they stay in the collective mind, right? Versus, you know, vanishing into history. So let's continue doing that. So let's move on, because he showed his face and then he thinks he's gonna be cute and he's gonna put up a D on the screen there. Next poet to the mic, Daniel Gastambide. I don't know who that is. Are you there, Daniel Gastambide? Or you?
I'm here.
You,
ready and willing.
Who's that?
My name is Daniel Jose Gastambide Núñez Arriaga Costa Suárez Ceja. Bird. But you can call me D-Bird. Hold on, let me put this away. Okay, now I'm back. How are you beautiful people at La Esquina doing? Oh, I gotta answer your fucking questions. I am located in the People's Republic of Brooklyn.
Yes, welcome.
Where I have recently been listening to John Coltrane for some very relaxing, jazzy music. Enough with the Q&A. This piece is entitled Latinx versus Abuela. Latina, Latino, Latinat, Latinao, Latinx, Latinx. They're all trying to sell you something either way. But what about those who don't use any of this nomenclature? What about those who do not bend knee to the word? Those like Abuela. And so you decide that you must rush with your mighty bobs to Twitter to take down and cancel Abuela in all her glory. But little did you know that abuelas carry a weapon handed down from generations of abuela to generations of abuelas. That's right. The almighty and powerful chancleta. Wait, what's that? Oh no, you have over 9,000 Twitter followers. Surely that is enough to overwhelm the power of one chancleta. This battle has been decided. Fool! So you thought. Little did you know that whenever that old-time merengue or salsa or bachata comes up on the radio, abuelas begin to dance. And do you know what you need in order to dance, fool? That's right. Feet. 2 feet, as a matter of fact. Which means that abuela can wield not one, but 2 chancletas. Behold, the almighty power of the doble chancletazo!
I can't with you, bro.
And so, abuela, live to fight another day in the land of the Latinx.
What to say, bro?
Love that look, man.
There's never a dull moment with you, bro. I love it. Welcome to Brooklyn, bro. It's overdue. Thank you, D-Bird. Thank you. I appreciate you. So we have 2 poets left on the open mic. Actually, 3 poets on the open mic. And then we'll go into our features. And then maybe if anyone wants to read again, just, no, actually 4. open micers left. There was a brother who was in the group, M.A. Dennis, who messaged me, and unfortunately he had to leave, but he was inspired by the poem that I read in the Latinx Breakbeat Poets anthology entitled, I'm sorry, I'm horrible, entitled Instructions for My Funeral. So he wanted me to read that if it's okay with you guys. And he answered the question. He currently lives in Queens, but heading back to Shaolin. I think he's related to D-Bird somehow. And he's been listening to Music Choice Channel's gospel, jazz, and blues. And he wrote this. Plans for my funeral. Now that I've kicked major depressive disorders ass to the curb and gotten a handle on the suicidal urges and came to grips with self-destructive tendencies, what's the point of telling you the plans for my funeral? I plan on outliving all of you. So that was his contribution to the open mic. Hopefully we'll see him next time. Cool. So next poet to the mic. My brother came to my house about 3 weeks ago, and he gave me a cilantro plant. And my daughter's chopped it up, and it's still there. I'm still watering it. We're still using it. So next poet to the mic. Thank you for the care package. I appreciate it, my brother. It's Vigo Hard.
What's going on, man? Yo, I'm glad to enjoying the cilantro, man. You know, it's very helpful, and I still have mine, and we use it for cooking. I try to chop it up and use it whatever I'm making. So I'm glad that you still got it. It's like my second major venture into the Zoom realm here, so I'm fairly new to this, but my music that I'm listening to now, I listen to a bunch of stuff. I mean, I listen to hip hop, rock, you know, classic R&B. I listen to it all. House music really gets me moving. That's what I really love to dance to, but I listen to everything. I was undecided. I had an identity piece, and then, you know, being that the wife's anniversary is coming up, I was thinking of doing something that I've done for her, and it's called. It's an old piece, but it still rings true, man. This is called "The One You Almost Slept On."
Ooh.
All right, here we go. I'm the one you almost slept on, but I still just crept on into your subconscious. Unforeseen like a dream, made you sweat, made you scream, and then you woke, feeling all flushed, warm thighs still trembling, bed sheets tossed about, panties half on with one leg out, as though you had been wrestling. But that was just me on your mind. The first time I saw you really wasn't because I had laid my eyes upon you years before that fateful day on Hugh Street with Jesse and Elaine that would somehow find me standing right outside your door. Roebling in South 9th Street, right next to the pizza shop, apartment 3C. Yeah, that was the place. I was tagging along with the girls, you know, the odd man out. When you opened the door and I saw your face. I said, I know that girl. And you said, I know that guy. And I thought to myself, wow, now what a coincidence. I always had my eye on you, and I always kind of felt that you were feeling me too. But it still felt all the more serendipitous. Yeah, I know. That's a good one. And that's just how I felt that day. Stunned, but oh, so pleasantly so, to see you standing there as my eyes would trace the curves of your lips, your thighs and your hips, and all your tender, sweet contours. This is uncharted territory. I am Ponce de Leon, and I'll be working my way south, penetrating deeper inland, leaving not one square inch to be unexplored. I'm gonna take my time with this. No need to rush when there's so much to enjoy. but I knew it in that instant, in a time not too far distant, that you would be my girl and I would be your boy. So we just chilling and vibing. And let me say this, the vibe was definitely vibing. I kept thinking to myself, how good them jeans looked on you and how I just had to get myself inside them. The way you moved was very cat-like and in every way a feline with that heart-shaped apple bottom booty. Ay, Dios mío, way before Nelly had his jeans line. I'm trying to tell you, sparks were flying. The chemistry was insane. I hadn't laughed that hard in a while, and I felt like maybe you hadn't done the same. But there we were, having a grand old time. I know I was having the time of my life. You came into it at just the right time. And today I know exactly why I made you my wife. We've practically grown up together. We've been together for so long. It hasn't all been easy. We've had our ups and downs, don't get me wrong. But I wouldn't change a thing, neither bad nor good. Everything, as you know, happens for a reason. But here we are, after all these years, still making it do what it do, me and you. And we always come back stronger, season after season. Like a pair of finely honed scissors, we've managed to cut through any obstacles thrown between us. We work as one. You got my back, and I got yours. Y por eso, yo te quiero con toda la fuerza del mundo, con todo mi corazón. You are the one I almost slept on. Mi amor. Thank you.
You fresh, bro. You fresh. Thank you, Wigo,
Clean
man.
up around 7.
Yeah, clean.
Thank you.
Awesome, awesome. Thank you, my brother. Thank you for coming through. Also, all right. So, I remember a couple of years ago, I was at Capicu Culture, and Rich was like, "Yo, this is my sister-in-law," and I was like, "Who's your sister-in-law?" And this powerhouse of a poet went up to the mic, and I found a sister. I found she is just so amazing. Her work is incredible. So next up to the mic, Malafama Il Fame.
I have a little assistant here, so don't.
There you go.
There we go. Thank you for having me. If you hear my little assistant, I apologize for that. She's over here learning. She's telling me that you all inspired her to start writing her first poem. So she's 4 years old and she's writing a poem about unicorns. So thank you.
Oh.
All right. He pasado por tantas ilusiones, tantas situaciones, tantas emociones, tantas situaciones que ya ni me conocen. But I can't lose focus. Aunque paro de caminar por un momento en mi vida, el mundo todavía gira. Paso a paso, día a día, todos sigan y no miran a su fruto sin saber que en su hijo está el futuro. Estoy cansada de esta cruz y no creo que puedo más. But when I feel like I'm losing it, paciencia Dios me da. Mantenga la fe, mamita me enseñó. Mantenga la fina cruzada de eso, papito me dijo. Y nunca dejes que un cabrón no te respete. Si mete la mano, llama a tu hermano, te trae el fuete o hágalas. La vieja chilena con el machete, you may start the beat, but we did it. Que no me crees, ponte bravo y vea cómo te dejo destrozado. Ponte brava y vea cómo te dejo destrozada. Esto es mi vida, mi sangre, corazón y rimas. This is my life. Esto es mi vida, mi sangre, corazón y vida. Yo, I've seen too many injustices. Children put their trust in us. The government keeps on cussing us. The earth has had enough of us. There've been too many changes through too many stages of my life that I've learned to think twice, read between the lines, look directly at the light. There's more than meets the eye. Said optimist prime, and I'm an optimist, and I am in my prime. So let me shine. I think outside the box. I'm very undefined. So I stay focused, ignoring whatever's bogus, fake reality. I don't get the joke, kid, because real reality is that I see the losing skills. This is real. The thought alone should give you chills. What do I do? That, what do we do? Make positive moves while I keep praying for you. Mother Earth is depressed, too much stress to her head. This chemical imbalance, man. Do you accept the challenge, man? Green is the new green. Dollar bills, the dollar drills, more holes in your pocket. Yeah, the dollar kills. I gotta keep it moving. I gotta keep it moving. I have no other choice in this world but to keep on proving to this girl that this girl got so much energy inside of me that I express it lyrically. This is me. This is I. This is real. This is ill. So close your eyes, bob your head, and feel what I feel. Because this is my life. Esto es mi vida. Mi sangre, corazón y rimas. This is my life. Esto es mi vida, mi sangre, corazón y rimas. This is my life. Esto es mi vida, mi sangre, corazón y rimas. Thank you. Oh, my bad with the whole muting.
No, you good. Thank
I'm in
you.
West New York, New Jersey, Hudson County. Now moved a lot. And what am I listening to? Right now I'm listening to a lot of beats, a lot of instrumentals, anything kid friendly and kids bop related. I have a 6-year-old and 4-year-old. And lately I'm bumping that new Bad Bunny EP. And if there's reason to. You got
Yeah, absolutely.
So and also today I put my ear to the Primo verse RZA battle on Tidal, and actually got to listen to that too. So if you're a hip hop head, check that out.
Nice. Thank you, Mala. Love you. See you tomorrow. Bye. All right. So with my boys, I have names for them, right? Like each one of them has un apodo that I give them. You know, like so my boy, I call him El Legendario because he has a poem in which he mentions this persona. So next poet to the mic is Rebel Poet.
What's good, mi gente?
Yeah.
Hold on, let me turn this off.
What's going on, brother?
All right, so it's an honor and a pleasure to be here with all of yous. Wow, it's a lot. So I've been listening to a lot of Natalia Lafourcade, like that's life right there, you know what I'm saying? La Rosalia, and a lot of lo-fi. So two things. Even at the moment, I'm working on my final, my last final. I had my first finals yesterday. So I'm just finishing it off, and I've been like two days, like, you know, like just banging it out, all-nighters, studying, getting it in. So it's good to, like, you know, be here with y'all, listening to your stories, and kind of like disconnecting from all the studying and everything else. Second thing I want to say is Eid Mubarak to my brothers and sisters that are participating in Ramadan. Tonight is the last night, so on top of, you know, all the studying, I've been fasting as well. So yeah, so I wanted to share with y'all two pieces. The first one is Mythology of Brown Boy from 4 White Walls Studio, or just Voice of Dissent from the Basement. Listen here and listen well. Chacho, no estoy loco. You know what? Maybe just a little. You don't need hypnosis to approach this psychoanalysis. Curious, could one be equal parts fact, occurrence, and a thing in itself? What is the space of madness? This binary association, forever free, not one-sided like courthouse conversations. When your skin is wrong afternoon shade and your name is too Martinez, Medina, Castillo, Flores, not star-spangled at all. What is the space of liberation? Remember, you were in the nation, marching on down cool Georgia afternoon, as far as eyes could see, left and right, standing at attention, pristine pressed suits, black and brown men, feeling like Harlem back in 1920. Oye, mira, what you out here selling bean pies for? Shouldn't you be home eating Goya beans? Fanon said it best, how duple meter voice raises out of oppression, speaking survival into hostile spaces, regardless of your interpretation. Tell me, what are the artistic limits of action for poets? When you are the mirror, oppressors' psychosis, fear of retribution, pendulum set free, what is the space of tragedy? Take note of this text. From the streets of Harlem to the Caribbean Ocean, exploring the depth of Blackness, being reflected back to it and from it. What is the space of personal narrative, if not to challenge the non-being, rebel against racial caste systems, never this close to death, always this close to death, speaking to myself, all the while wondering if anyone can hear me. So shout out to the Títere Poets.
Yep.
Yo, shout out to D-Bird for his book, releasing his book, an amazing read. If you haven't picked it up, please do so.
What's the name of that book?
Not knowing the full name of it. What is it? Psychoanalysis. There
The
you go.
People's History of Psychoanalysis.
Very good. Also, if you haven't picked it up yet, Latin Next anthology is on fire. So we've been doing a lot of prompts. A lot of prompts even have been going back and forth on social media. One that I really enjoyed was a self-portrait. This is my rendition. No title. I am Caribbean Valley, Still River, non-certified laborer, host of Zoom Smile, reflection of brown boy, lonely bomba drum skin, spilling espiritu through N95 mask, reggaeton, percussion persona, downbeat tate quieto aura, sabrosura, el sofrito de milagros, torullito de María, tamarindo rebeldía, curry spice attitude, guarapo roots drink libation to fatherless weeping earth. I am a daydream, volando chiringas en el morro, orchestral symposium in C minor, waiting on D train, watering flower pots, children of Baldwin, Palo Santo Salat, repellent de todo malo, el duende's legend, un semi algarete made of concha y hueso, unearthed in Caguas, enlightened on Sistrunk. I am galloping dragon, making his way through Ghost Town. Two phantasm for its own reckoning. Vela Blanca in turbulent sea of doubt, burning despite own veracity. Julia's punch-drunk lover, Ponce's ternura, Fela's face paint, Don Pedro's cadence, Francisco's temperance, Yo soy, flirting flores, Filipino Coreano, sun-shaped vessel, slave lineage, Irutsi Kuroi boy, gold dust sugar cane blood, I am grassroots movement, loud whisper, mumbled boom bap prayer, butterfly and bullet, sereno at dawn, coquí song in unison, altissimo, when you know you just made your way back home.
Vale. Awesome, bro. Thank you for joining us, man. And I'll see you tomorrow. All right. So the last poet to the mic before we go into our amazing features. What can I say? It's fucking Rich Villan.
Okay. Fucking Rich Viato here. What's going on? Can everybody hear me okay? I'm like, all right, cool. Excellent. So I finally got my copy of the Breakbeat Poets Anthology. It was long delayed, but I finally got it.
Por fin.
Por fin is right. It is what it is, right? But you know, there's a poem in here that I want to kind of start with that I didn't get a chance to read fully until now because I had only seen the title, but I still want to read it because it's dope and because I'm an old school wrestling fan. And so, yeah, this poem is by Reyes Ramirez from Houston, Texas. And it is called Eddie Guerrero Enters the Ring Holding the World Championship.
Nice.
The body brown, belt gold, eyes closed, nose in the air, shoulders shake to each word. I lie, I cheat, I steal. White men, what you hold sacred, we will take. Money, cars, liquor, land, life, winning. You won't like this, that's fine. Our world champion drives bouncing low-lows, talk shit. He grins through crimson masks, slit roaring red rain, lifts bodies into orbit, drops them like judgments, leaps from turnbuckles, bronze fist blooming into flames. Brown bodies know that violence is the marriage between their hot ambition and the rule of law. What respect can we have for the word legal, since illegal can describe our skin, our joy, our life? I lie, I cheat, I steal. I lie, I cheat, I steal. Our champion of the world pokes eyes, low blows, spits. Behind the ref's back, he hits the floor with a chair. Metal clang, chucks it into his opponent's hands, collapses as though shot. The ref turns around, shocked. He points to his white foe, gets him disqualified. There's no difference between a fair win and a win except how much your faith in the system frees you. What good are your rules if they grant only your dignity? What good are your codes if broken by our breathing? Our world champion struts over a white body. We're not meant to exist with such extravagance. I lie, I cheat, I steal. We lie, we cheat, we steal. Smile with your tongue out in celebration of broken laws. Reyes Ramirez. Yeah, so let's see. I am gonna close out with an elegy that is actually a revision to a poem I wrote in 2003. One of the first poems that I read in public, one that I read for the slam, one that kind of got a lot of traction back when I was first starting out as a poet, is a poem called Noche Buena. And, you know, for the longest time, I thought it was one thing. And I found that it actually was something else. It was an elegy. And the reasons for that are, you know, copious. And I'm not going to get into it right this second, but just suffice it to say that I have been in mourning for various things for a very long time. And this poem came out of that experience. And this is a piece for my brother who passed away in 2011. Right now, this is still called Noche Buena. I might change, I'm not sure. All the music is in your hands. 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 Improvised on dry gourd, stretched across the drum our father once built. All the music is in your hands, a gourd, grooves scratched into improvised rhythm. All the music is in your hands, improvised rhythm, scratched across a gourd, an afro pick, a black fist, a revolutionary insistence inside the gathering place. All the music is in your hands, insistence scratched across a gourd, afro picks and jibaros in this cold northern city. Pickle jars for congas, your clubbed fingers, memories swept in snowdrifts piled by the door. Papi said, never answer the bell when he's not home. On this night, there is neither suburb nor city, only dress shoes and pernil, kitchen steam, frosting the windows. Rewrite our names there. All the music is in your hands. El Jibarito del Ares on 33 RPM, scratches in the record no one knows better than you. This was years before we found you asleep on the bathroom tile, a fist trying to pound its way out of your skull. I'm standing in a manicured boneyard. No manner of proper groundskeeping will ever exercise the closing of the crypt. All the music is in your hands. 2 a.m. sopong on Noche Buena. Uncle Johnny and Uncle Junior trading decimas and Winstons on the back porch. Snow and 30 degrees, be damned. All the music is in my hands. Pasteles ground out in single-man kitchen. Tradiciones kept alive. Congas scratching the guido beside my bed, keeping you alive the way mommy wished she could. That's it. Thank you, guys.
Can you hear me now? Okay. So I was saying, thank you, Rich. You know, that goes back to what I was telling Isa about the importance of keeping, you know, the memories of life of those that we love and you know, people who have made an impact on our lives. And, you know, going back to poetry that we have written and kind of looking at it and revising it. I think editing is something that never ends and we continue doing all the time. So thank you for that, for being vulnerable and sharing that with us. Okay, con eso en mente, we're gonna bring up our features. Is everyone's ready for our features? Thumbs up, we're ready for our features? Chévere. So the first feature coming up, I fell in love with her the first time I heard her voice and I heard what she was talking about and you know, being a mother and I remember vividly remembering the poem about combing her daughter's hair, and it just resonated with me. So Tina Marie Dominguez is a Queen-based Puerto Rican Dominican womanist, writer, and fairy whose work is informed by her culture, motherhood, and passion for liberty in all forms. Her poetry can be found in the anthologies Mujeres, The Magic, The Movement, and The Muse, and Peinate, as well as on several napkins crumbled at the bottom of her pockets at any given moment. So I just want to say thank you, Tina, for joining us and for being our feature today. The mic is yours. Do it with it as you will.
Did I do that right?
Yeah, you did.
I'm not good with technology. Tired of online class. Okay, so I'm just gonna start because I'm very shy. My womanism looks like being equally as mad about white men outlawing abortion as I am about the birth control experiments done on Puerto Rican women. We are the daughters of the santeras you could not sterilize. My womanism looks like being angry about forced sterilization of incarcerated women of color, as I am about the lack of protection and the demonization of sex workers, an industry driven by men who then turn around and imprison those seeking to serve them. My womanism recognizes white presenting and passing privilege, recognizes colorism is rampant in most of our cultures and needs to be combated daily. Looks like being the proud granddaughter of a Dominican immigrant who built his own business and made jobs here. Looks like my Puerto Rican grandmother escaping colonial imposed poverty like the millions who've left the raped island. My womanism looks like believing in the rights of indigenous to have domain over their own land. We live on stolen ground, yet still deny the right to defend the water that sustained them after you bled them dry. My womanism doesn't forget that Flint has not had clean water since April of 2014. I bet the amount of money Trump has saved in tax evasion could solve that problem. My womanism looks like acknowledging that equal pay is needed, but also noting that Becky makes a whole lot more than my 54 cents to her husband's dollar. There is equality and then there is equity. And when certain women have been knocked down 10 pegs, giving them the same 3 you gave everyone else does not bring them to the same level. My womanism looks like stop touching her hair, like no, really stop. Looks like Black Lives Matter, looks like being angry before the Cheeto chairman took charge. Looks like stop saying we are all one, stop shaming us for our differences and instead acknowledge them. We are not all the same. Stop fearing it. Stop calling it forced division. It'll be O-fucking-K. My womanism looks like supporting protests while you were still calling them riots. Looks like being angry about Black men shot in front of babies by the police while you waited to be directly affected to give a damn. How many Women's March participants were shouting all lives matter when acknowledging white supremacy mattered? How many of you went just for the selfies? They were never concerned until they had no choice but to fight. How many of you give a damn about the thousands of trans lives taken every day all over the world? How many of you are willing to acknowledge your pink pussy caps as cis-normative, as if there aren't women who do not possess a vagina? My womanism has no room to stomp out colors, cultures, and gender identity in order to turn us into an amorphous blob of false femininity. My womanism looks like feminist intersectionality. My womanism is imperfect, but learns and grows and cares daily. How about yours? I'm going from like angry to nice soft poem. Silence is complicity. There is a difference between shaming and choosing to silently disagree. One harms your fellow femme, the other reveals you a bigot. So when I say I'm pro-ho, I mean I bust it open. I mean I throw it down. I mean you can walk out if you don't like how that sounds. I don't mean I'm pro-ho, but could never. Doesn't mean I get to deduce whether another woman is classy enough, covered up enough. Doesn't mean I get to say, imagine what her daughter must think. Heaven forbid we raise daughters who realize they have dominion over their own bodies and autonomy on their sexuality. You raised by a generation of women taught to hide their true desires. We are the results of generational wounds held in silence so long they have no choice but to be a festering eruption in battle cry. We scream out the poison and call it art. We pour of ourselves and name it healing. We are the inevitable black sheep of women, roaring when they only wanted us bowed, only wanted tops of posturing heads. We gave them open mouth banshee to the death of all our ancestors who will never speak up. Estamos aquí, siempre fuimos aquí. Sometimes the voices are your mother, llamándote cualquiera, telling you you will never amount to anything. Maldita sea el día que te parí. Calling you slut at 13, saying she gives up on you at 16. You already tarnished novelty, only as good as your relics of innocence. They can leave you behind, but never your brother, ese niño inocente, not like you, girl, devil by genetic composition. We blame the over-sexualization of Latina, Afro, and indigenous youth on white men, like our own tias, mothers, and abuelas weren't calling us putas before we even knew how to bleed. Taught to stay with one man, even if he be an adulterer and abuser, porque no podemos tener los vecinos pensándote puta si tú te vas con otro. How dare we boast the bravado it takes to raise sons who don't judge women by their body count, especially when they've likely slept with triple that amount. And imagine not shaming for showing skin and blaming the rapist instead of the victim. Y la culpa no era mía, ni cómo andaba, ni dónde andaba, ni cómo vestía. I wish someone had shown you that you can keep your place on the pedestal without pushing another woman off hers. Use those lightning fast posting skills to drop a compliment instead of a slur. Stick up for her, applaud her, love her for teaching a new generation not to be held by the same chains you still drag around. You Ebenezer Scrooge to feminism, setting us back to islands where they robbed us of choice by trying to stifle a revolutionary's voice. I say aloud yes for every femme who wants to slut walk, turns that walk of shame into a catwalk. Throw it back like it's a parade. Look at how my lace fronts still be laid after dick appointment is paid. Marvel at how these hips have swayed, but never ever to the beats of shame. This is nerve-wracking because you can't hear applause.
No, you're doing
Go,
amazing.
Tina!
By all means, clap, snap, scream, shout. It's awesome.
Okay, I think I have like one more
Go,
angle one and then
girl.
it can be nice.
Let's go.
Okay. Artist, monster of a man, I broke this bounded back to let you in. I am not melting, yet you lap me up like I'm perishable goods. I will still be here tomorrow, but your tongue has twisted on itself again. Already pouring pretense into another overweighted vessel filled with false promise. She is forced to spill over unnoticed. Women are not your self-portraits, canvas to be smothered until there was no blank space, sold to highest bidder, forgotten. Like you didn't spend hours stroking ego oil into the abstract of her. I am uncommissioned. I am thought stabbing your mind at 3 a.m. as you're entangled within your latest news. I am not a woman of the hour. I devour your lifeline for breakfast, taste hesitant and nonchalant like favorite topping, and still, I cannot self-aggrandize enough to encircle your infantile desire for attention, wanting to play little spoon, but you never shrink for anyone. And I need a meal worthy of my hungry, but you're too full of yourself to see. The air of the way, you soaked your hands in sweet nothings and mumbled them onto my thirsty skin, mistaking dehydration for misplaced infatuation and natural reciprocation for clinginess. Forgetting your conquests are not concepts, we are conception, divine femme designers of universe. Even you are an intended frustration, like a canary flying into a mine knowing there's no other side. We are not an eternal bachelor's watercolor wet dream. We're the ocean. Manic pixie dream ho calliope's not here for your low-key misogyny, so clap your hands if you believe. I touch myself and wonder how anyone could dive into me and still covet air. Yet there you stand, breathing in like oxygen could ever compare. And I'd say it's your loss, but you've gained the luxury of my taste, and here I stand, phantom hand on foolish waist. I am a polite, peaceful protest painting of a woman. You bring out all the fire in me. I will gladly burn you down in the name of my revolution. I have cut you from my veins, bled you onto every page, flushed my system of every honeyed verb. You may have mounted me on wall, all skewed and screwed colors, but art interpreted will have the last word. Okay.
That's my cousin. You go, Tina. Woo, woo.
So this one is the one that Mario was talking about. It's my hair poem. I read it. I wrote it when I was watching my daughter comb her hair, and I just remembered being frustrated when I was little and even getting brushes stuck in my hair or ending up with dreadlocks because I didn't want anybody to comb my hair because it hurt. So I walked through mommy's threshold, ready for the usual barrage of ay, mija, que tiene puesto. Instead, I met with, ay, mija, why don't you ever comb this poor girl's hair? No es justo, me odio verla así. I looked down at my 5-year-old's perfectly coiffed head, ringlets I finger combed delicately, adding just the right proportions of shea leave-in, coconut oil, and hope She bears a light halo of frizz because curls like life nunca son perfecto. I remember being so tired of hours under dryer over salon talk of pelo malo, pelo negro, how what I had was good. It was easily manipulated, easily made into a more acceptable form. My mother in the corner, Puerto Rican proud, stern Eurocentric features, willing my hair to match her own, despite all my father's Afro-Dominicano painted onto my pallor and pushing through my curls. Silky, smooth, limp. Look at how they so feared us. They left the fire of colonialism in our blood. See how they still try to burn all the parts of us they cannot tame. Wonder at how angry they be. You so untouched by the magic of melanin, but still so full of amnesic ancestor. Mejorando la raza, pero la raza más fuerte brilla clara. Nena de pelo boricua, pelo quisqueyana, piden que se callan, se compórtate, cállate ya. But my whole life was straightening. My back, my tongue, my attitude, so that fingers could easily run through, so that wind had no barrier and warmth became the enemy. Be less loud, easily morphed, easily tied, oveja negra, straighten up, let them shear those coils, you might be more presentable underneath. My daughter tried to brush her hair today. I watched as she learned some messes are meant unkempt, some things are beautiful in chaos. Convoluted coils hide mysteries meant to remain as such. Slowly, I worked the stuck brush out of her pajon, gently, so she would know que no tiene que doler parecer a tu madre. It doesn't have to hurt to resemble your mother.
Woo, go Tina!
It's just my cousin yelling every time.
No, man, support.
That was phenomenal. That was phenomenal.
That was awesome. Awesome, awesome.
Yes, Tina!
My last poem I wrote, obviously, in the wake of the hurricane that affected so many of us in Puerto Rico. Just from, I guess, the perspective of me not having ever lived there and being, yeah. See, I have to get my brain back into it. I don't have it written anywhere.
She's a
El
feature.
perdido te encuentra, encantada y totalmente sin temor. The lost man finds you, tells you you are treasure, calls you fountain of youth, teaches you shame, names your body temple. Like blue eyes can't see, all of earth is church and you candle. Boasts to brethren of your beauty, wants others to be enchanted with his discovery. So he makes up tales, like you don't already be more bounty than he could behold, like you don't already be enchantment, like you don't already be bold, like you don't already be. He wants to see other people, decides you are too godly for his rapture, so he treats the next inhuman, treats the next property, treats the next, condemns you both to death. You tried to save a shipwreck, teach it home, call it sheltering, name it storm. You tried to belly the burden into babe, and he brought you famine, showed you disease, taught you white men can't let you keep your tongue when it is more whipped than theirs. Names you rich port, like Boricans didn't already mean great land of the valiant and noble lords. Bombas, esterilización, encarcelamiento por orgullo, cenizas tóxicas, colonialismo, genocidio. Es casi ilegal ser boricua. El mundo no se acaba de tratar a matarnos. Me levanta cada día atrás de puños como la isla se levanta cada día más hermosa. Recuerda libertad a través de los brazos africanos. Recuerda amor por el hogar a través de los lágrimas taínos. La fortaleza de mi tierra se presenta en el tumbo de mi cadera, en el sonido del mar que se cae de mi boca, en una lengua que convierte cada palabra en canción, en las montañas y cuevas de magia que aparecen cuando me quita la ropa. Mi amor es peligroso y maravilloso como el yunque. Mi perdido te persiguiera como el pasado atormenta el cementerio de Santa María Magdalena. Pero te voy a proporcionar como el océano. Si detienen la guerra, si vaciamos los castillos, si abandonamos lo fuerte y dejarlo descansar, si unen la gente en solidaridad contra la tiranía y acordamos siempre luchar, entonces, ¿qué puedes hasta una tormenta monstruo cambiar? ¿Qué puedes realmente destruir si han sobrevivimos peor y todavía bailamos, todavía cantamos? Yo soy hija de Borinquen, eso nadie me va a cambiar. Yo soy hija de Borinquen, eso nadie me va a cambiar. Y el día que yo me muera, en ti quiero descansar. Yo te adoro, Puerto Rico, y eso nadie me lo va a quitar. Sorry for my horrible singing.
Thank you so much, my sister, for blessing
Thank
us.
you for
as our
inviting me and for this
absolutely,
space.
absolutely. I'm letting everyone know on this on this feed that I will be knocking on your door sooner or later because I need some features. But thank you so much. You did something that I need to highlight. So it's important to write in our language, right? And a lot of times we don't do that. A lot of times we get stuck on just wanting to write in just English, right? I need to write in English, but there is power in our language, and I will say this, and I will go down with the ship that there is no more beautiful language than Spanish. There's a power behind it. Yo soy Boricua, so that's why I say it. And I know that personally, being able to write in both languages for me has made my poetry a little bit more powerful. So I loved it. Thank you again. I appreciate you. So our next feature needs no introduction, but I'm gonna give him an introduction. This brother is so amazing. He has done so much work in our community. So our next feature, Thomas Fucaloro, the winner of a performance grant from the Staten Island Council of the Arts and the New York City Department of Cultural Affairs. Thomas Fucaloro has been on 6 national slam teams. He holds an MFA in creative writing from the New School and is co-founding editor of Great Weather for Media and the NYSAI Press. He is an adjunct professor at Wagner College and BMCC, where he teaches world lit and advanced creative writing. He teaches poetry at Prison Rights. His latest chapbook, There's Always Tomorrow, was released in 2017 by Mad Gleam Press. With us, without further ado, Mr. Thomas Fucaloro.
Man says a dishonest ghost haunted his house. Man claims ghost's name was Kevin. What we allow to enter us is never the same as what we allow to sit next to us. The ghost made me do it. The ghost made me do it. Sometimes the exorcism doesn't work. You stay the prodding probe of anything that can fit. You say there was no permission when Kevin haunted your house, blaming the past for the manipulation of your present. Say something real, something cinder-like. There is always something inside that guides what we do, that helps us cope when apparitions, apathy, moral cores. When we hurt each other, the ghosts need to blame us as much as we need to blame them. We all are a haunting. We all are a hurting. We all are a healing. We all have ghosts. In the 80s and 90s, the band Kiss was my rebellion, and oh, what a stupid rebellion it was. Puberty is a periodic table of evolution. I found revolution in redundant art. I found revolution in male, straight, hairy chest stereotypes of what I thought I wanted to be. Pancaked me in some sort of slow syrup ooze of misogyny. Everything was blurry. What I must have attained was an act of rebellion. What I can have the most of was an act of rebellion. I always believed what the reviews told me. Acrid the music now, but back then it's what my pubic hair grew out of. It was my blue sky, my necromancer in kabuki makeup, materialistic, dissatisfied artists who couldn't quite comprehend the chords, but still delivered the meat to the deli. But after a while, you discover various other types of artists, various other types of hair. So I bought a razor and I shaved my chest and I glued it to my face. Thank you. Thank you. On the Staten Island ferry, there are not enough places to hide from oneself or the onslaught of public that public has to offer. So I hide next to the old lady and the bag full of dead seagulls, hoping this trip takes shorter than the longest lie of paranoia. The ferry docks and I head home, where there are more than enough places to hide and more than enough of me to hide them in. It's not that everybody is beautiful, it's that ugly is beautiful too. Blue drip canvas smear, puzzle the piece that fits together no matter the form. Stand next to a painting of a body that has no form to your own. Rise with it. Let it color you in. Tell your therapist you always color outside the body. Paint a mountain sunset on your tongue and ask for your next appointment. Stand there like a cemetery. Unhealthy landmarks of this country can standard your thinking cage. Ablaze sets the cliche of a sunrise always rising for you. Of course, you're beautiful, but you are ugly too. Feel that shit. It will fill you up. It will sunrise the strength you didn't even know was sky. When I am under the weather, I go to poetry readings to get over the weather. A field of daisies sits awaiting the next shine of spit. Whether it was a poem you wrote at the age of 12 or the poem you wrote while thinking about the age of 12, each poem's thumbprint dipped in paint, smeared all over the weather. The past makes sense in this moment because we are all reliving each other's together. How we twine and wrinkle, nothing left unsaid. But now I perform for a vase of dead flowers, my keys, a glass with the remnants of wine. I paint eyes and ears on all the walls. I stand on my kitchen table and I perform for all of them. Everything becomes shattered. Everything becomes about picking up the broken. All right, so I ran out of signs, but I haven't run out of poems. I'm going to read a few more.
Great job. Great job.
Dude, you're amazing.
So
you got
Thank
used
you
to
so
it.
much, everyone.
Thank you for coming by.
A few more. I hope it's okay.
Definitely. If the mic is yours, my friend. You see, you got us used to cue cards, and now you're gonna take them away.
Oh, I'm sorry. We can go back to the cards. Here. There you go. I am just. I had to give up my idea of masculinity in order to fit my brain right. I had to throw away the toxicity of hair gel nights, wanting bodies that I thought I deserved to have. I had to give up wanting and settle for patience. I had to swim in that ocean until I drowned. I am 70% water and 30% fucked up. Now, hopefully, I am just water. All right. I'm going to read maybe 3 more. Thank you for letting me yell at you on a computer. This is so weird. It's just so interesting. Thank you, everyone, for reading. I'm going to do, oh my, I don't know what to do. So I'm sure everyone has been kind of locked in and feeling lots of things. So these next 3 poems are going to address that, and I'm just going to call it a night. Thank you again for letting me yell. I hope it hasn't been too much annoyances, but, and I hope you're all well. Folded up in the kitchen, the patterns on the floor match my condition, an exploration of how full empty can be. Sometimes angels' wings, sometimes dust bunnies. I try to stabilize the pattern in my head in order of how I appear to disorganize. The loneliness of my kitchen is the headline. I am the reader. The sun shines through the window, hitting me square in the eyes. I try to stabilize the disorganized in my head in order of how I appear to pattern with or without prescription. The sun is a pill. Everything becomes a montage of what I ought to be doing, revolving around the notion that if I only had some more suns, there would be an unfolding. So now I recite poems in empty pill bottles to hear the echo shattered makes. 2 more. Internal damage. When I pull at either side of my slit cuticle, it looks like a mouth screaming. Since I can't leave, what else is there to do? My couch has become a surgeon's table. The couch squeaks in laughter. I used to treat poetry readings like therapy sessions. I used to treat therapy sessions like poetry readings. I smear the blood from my cuticle onto my thumb. I hope for a day of simpler colors, simpler ways of getting them to bleed. I make a thumbprint on the wall, indicating how high I want to be. And I have 1 more. Again, thank you so much. I don't know, I feel like a dork. Cheers, everyone who's here listening. I'm gonna yell a lot in this poem. I'm so sorry. We have neighbors downstairs they're probably sorry too. So it's going to be really exciting to get their feedback along with your feedback. And thank you again. And thank you, Mario, and thank you for everyone. I don't know, just thank you. This is good.
Oh, man, thank you, brother.
Good hearing people. I'm sorry. Okay. A poet walks into a bar and becomes anxiety. Too much, too much, too much. Coffee, coffee, coffee. Not enough, not enough, not enough. Brain, not enough. Brain, not enough. Brain chemistry, not enough, not enough. Of what ticks, of what ticks, of what ticks. Not enough. Brain chemistry, coffee, coffee, coffee. Too much, too much, too much. Look at the pelican, look at the pelican. Predominantly pale plumage, predominantly pale plumage. This jaw, this beak, this jaw, this beak scoops the 70% of us who are just as fucked up, fucked up, fucked up as the 30% of us. Look at me, look at me, look at me. Predominantly pale plumage poming, predominantly pale plumage poming. Look at me, all fucked up. Look at me, all fucked up. Look at me, all fucked up. This jaw, this beak, this jaw, this beak. Too much, too much, too much. Coffee, coffee, chemistry, chemistry, brain, brain. Too much brain, too much brain, too much brain, too much anxiety. Walks into a bar and becomes a poet. Thank you for letting me yell. Thank you.
You know, man, thank you. I mean, amazing. Thank you for giving us a master class on how to use the space on Zoom. That was dope.
That was fucking amazing.
That was bro, I miss you. That's all I gotta say.
I miss all of you, and it was awesome hearing it.
Yes. So, folks, listen, we have another hour to chill. A couple of people told me they want to jump on the mic. But can I ask you guys a question? Can I read a poem? Is that okay? Is that okay? I can't hear you guys.
Yeah.
All right.
Seguro.
No, because I write too and shit. You know,
It's your shit.
No.
I, you
What do you
know,
mean, can't you?
I'm
You
asking,
do it, bro.
I'm asking. So I'm in Brooklyn. I'm in Deca Heights. What have I been listening to? I have to agree with Mari, with Ill Fame. I've been listening to a lot of Bad Bunny. And when he first came out, it really didn't appeal to me. But this album that came around, and now he just dropped this mixtape or LP he dropped, is sick. I also listened to a lot of Ricardo Arjona. He just came out with a new song called Hongos. And the first line in that song is, "Who gave God mushrooms?" And he, I thought that was crazy and that was dope. So the name of this poem is, "While visiting his side piece, a bird observes." Not the bird, a bird. The city, solitaria, cleanses itself of basura. En la 42, las rats can mingle without the anxiety of looming paparazzi, can eat pizza, drink night train express, stumble downstairs without being on the cover of the New York Times. Midtown, the horses rest their throbbing tobillos from cliche boda proposals around Seneca Village. Las ardillas can give two fucks. They cruise around con la familia como si cada día fuera Easter, reclaiming colonized and gentrified parques. The feral cats marvel at the possibility of reconquistando Hell's Kitchen en el nombre de Heathcliff, Garfield, and Riff Raff. Las cucarachas are hysterically laughing. A laugh, a cough. Mira, a cough. The sparrows sunbathe on an FDR drive overseeing a Hudson, glimmering a silver capa towards El Horizonte. Striped bass and sturgeons tiran a rooftop after party en el Intrepid y blues y cocolías bochinchan sobre quién hizo qué con quién. Porgies share Instagram pictures, adding new friends to Fable, and Steve jura that he saw the whales in the Hudson cuando cruzaba el puente. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. So next poet to the mic again. You know what? This is the first time I think she's gonna read on an open mic. So I want to invite Veronica to read. Is Veronica there?
Veronica's here.
Nice. She's gonna read for us. Go ahead, Veronica.
And I'm sorry, but Thomas, you completely inspired my son because you were wearing his favorite color, green. So if Joel can go later too, he's asking. He already
yeah, definitely.
Like Thomas. So Veronica's gonna do her first poem. 1 second. Hold on, ready? Ready? Okay. Nice and loud. You want to show them your little book?
What unicorns do?
What Unicorns Do is the title of her poem.
What do unicorns do? They do magical for everyone.
Yeah. And they do magical for everyone.
If you want to put me on YouTube, do VERONICX.
Absolutely. You
She's
tell
not
us. Awesome. That was amazing.
Thank you.
That was amazing. Wow. I that made my night. Absolutely. Okay, so is Joel ready or he wants to go later?
He's you're not ready? Are you ready?
No, not ready.
You're not ready? He's not ready. He said he's
All
prepping
right.
his sign better.
You got it. No problem. All right, so I'm gonna ask Brother Butterroll to jump back on the mic. Jeru, you ready?
Yo, Mario.
Yep.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
I just want to, can I jump in here real quick? Butterroll can go next. Can I go after him? Because I got to get off of this real quick.
Absolutely.
Thank you. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to.
You got it. Joe, you
What's
ready?
up, guys? I just got two very short list poems. Thank you again for having me. Shout out to the features. That was dope as fuck. The first one is called Apocalypse Survival Starter Pack. Sort of topical, for sure. Number one, solar power. Number two, good graces. Number three, rabbit ears. 4, cheese, an assortment. 5, a ghost story. 6, a long walk. 7, a talisman. Target, aisle 14. 8, gorilla mask. 9, ham sanitizer. 10, tuxedo t-shirt. 11, tennis rackets. 12, your poison. 13, a solid supply of tinfoil hats. 14, inhale deeply. Now, one more for you guys. This is called Apocalypse Survival Starter Pack Toilet Paper Version. Number 1, toilet paper for the Virgo inside of you. Number 2, toilet paper for your newly formed sense of agoraphobia. Number 3, toilet paper to wear as a scarf as you eat dinner on your fire escape. Number 4, toilet paper to dry yourself after you've watched Aquaman for the 11th time. Number 5, Toilet paper to dry your tears of loneliness as you ejaculate into a sock. Number 6, toilet paper for your ejaculate as you have run out of socks. Number 7, toilet paper for the pathos. Number 8, toilet paper for the mess you've made on your social media accounts. Number 9, a toilet paper eye patch because you're the captain of the ship. Number 10, not enough toilet paper in the world to wipe away the piece of shit in the White House. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. I appreciate that. All right. So let's bring up next poet to the mic. Rigo, you ready? Oh, Anthony, actually. You ready? All right,
Yes,
cool.
sir. This piece is called Acceptance. It's not that we don't get along. It's that we've done so well away from each other. I don't need you to call because you didn't need to show up. Things won't get better until you realize and admit you weren't a good father. And I can admit I'm not a good son. I don't care to be. Face the fact that you weren't there. I don't hate you. The little boy with eyes wide open when he saw the tracks that went from the Christmas tree all the way to the kitchen window fire escape on Wilson Avenue still holds on to those memories like a life jacket on a drowning man, for dear life. But not long after, the Christmas tree ran bare. You were the shadow that danced on the walls from a light that came from a candle that flickered, whose name was hope. I learned that Santa didn't visit children with no dad or no home. Although the gifts that I received weren't good quality and much fewer in quantity, they slapped me in the face. A homeless boy went to see Santa with fantastical eagerness to open a wrapped present, yet when I did, it was a baseball and a glove. What was I supposed to do? Mommy didn't let us play ball in the house, and Daddy wasn't there to play with me. Every time I looked at that glove, it reminded me of that small space inside my heart that was once filled by you. That space began to grow. Where were you when you promised to visit? When you never showed up? Who mustered the strength to catch tears like fly balls at a home run derby contest from the eyes of the children who no longer in the stadium you built? Whatever happened to these rituals and traditions that had a boy into his manhood? You call yourself a good father, yet you didn't teach me to shave. Hell if I know whether or not you realized I was shaving. It's like life, always against the grain. You never taught me that it takes courage to ask a girl out, or that she is priceless, and I should treat her as such. But how could you, Mr. Ever Present? How were you even there? When the only one to call me son was disguised in street concrete. Yeah, I peddled those drugs. Yeah, I stole from those people. Yeah, I found a family in the streets. Yeah, you didn't even know it. And yet that 6-year-old with wide eyes who believed in Santa still loves you. Even though I found out that you weren't my real dad, and I swore to myself I wouldn't allow myself to let you leave my heart. Poor, bleeding heart. You are Papi. That'll never change. But the hourglass of life doesn't have enough sand with you written on it. Admit you weren't a good father. Accept that truth. Your ego won't let you, but because your new family was provided for so well. It's a success in your eyes, and we stood out of mine. The first step to solving a problem is admitting to have one. I admit I don't care about the calls. I've grown up without you. I admit I want your apology, but you won't give it because you don't see you're wrong. So to truly solve this problem, I accept that I won't get your apology. I forgive you, and I move on. Thank you.
Awesome, bro. Thank you for sharing that, bro. Thank you for being vulnerable like that.
Thank you.
All right. So we have Joel. You ready, Joel? He's ready? Oh, snap. Joel's going to get out the mic.
This is awesome. My children are doing their first poetry readings. Okay, come here, Jolito. Come here, you ready? You can take this off. He's got his, you don't need that. You don't need that. He can hear us. Okay.
Yeah, go ahead.
Here. Come here, so he can see you. You got it? Oh, put this on? Okay, come here. Come up here. You gotta do your intro. First poetry reading.
Nice.
Bigger. Oh, put you bigger. I could put you bigger. Ready, Bobby? Nice and loud. You gotta talk.
Let's plug you.
Nice and loud. Go. Introduce yourself. Show them your poem. Okay, what is your poem?
Hey, poem.
And what's the title?
Green and blue and red.
Green and blue and red is the title of the poem.
Of course.
Nice and loud. Go.
Hi.
There you go. See? Go ahead.
Oh, here.
Oh, okay. Sorry. There we go. See?
Oh, here you can press.
Okay. There we go. See? There you go. See? Go talk.
And press on me.
I can't press on you. You're there. Sorry. He's nervous about seeing all your faces. Go. It's okay. Talk.
One day green and blue and red.
One day green and blue and red. They can't hear you, Papi. They can't hear you.
Come on, Joel.
2 seconds. Okay, go. Hurry. Okay, go. Green and blue and red.
Green and blue and red. One
I got it. It's in. Go.
out one day.
It's in. I got it. Go.
And they went to a very hot desert. The crayons argued, and then they went back home and went to sleep. The end.
Yay! That was awesome, Joel. Thank you.
Yay!
Go ahead. Thank you.
That was amazing.
That was awesome.
Right.
Thank you.
Doing it right, girl. You're doing it right.
All right. So we have let's hear from Isa. Isa, you there? Isa? No? Maybe so? Where
I'm
are you?
here.
Oh, there you go.
One more time. I'm back with the hat.
Nice. Oh, look at that hat. Get Chuchi.
All right. So I recite you a poem I wrote recently. Self-portrait of a pestilential shut-in. Yo soy perpetual hoarder of newspaper headlines. Soy water-damaged smell of mistranslated words. Soy car horn cachique, apito apito en la Tandegüey. Soy recluse hiding inside her own body, Venetian. My mirror is covered with dust, espíritu, amor trembled. Soy sleeping Saturdays with Palo Viejo heart, Pecadi pedida, carraya lost. Quiet, heavy sheets. My mirrors covered with rain, speak hupia red. Soy incommunicable binges of anger, grief, and survival. A piece of arm floating amniotic in hours of wasting. There was a fire a block away, a shooting too. Soy the half-hourly siren, helicopter overhead thoughts. Soy starved of touch and starving. It's all going to be okay. Todo está bien. Todas estaremos bien. Thank you.
Awesome, my brother. Thank you.
What's going on, man? I got two little short pieces that deal with love, each at the opposite end of the spectrum. Because there are times when, you know, many of us go through that phase where we just don't feel loved. And then at the other end of the spectrum, somebody just happens to tell you they love you, and the power of that is just fucking amazing. So we're gonna start it off with the first one. And this is called B, just let that shit go. B, just let that shit go. Yo, I tried, but that shit just won't let go of me. Just because you can't read my sleeves where mere mortals are known to wear their hearts, do not forsake me. You never want to hear of my success in overcoming mitigating circumstances, but hang patiently on the word of my downfall. Do not underestimate me. You say to yourself, why is it like that? And without asking, you jump to conclusions as they whisper in your ears, those who never loved me. That's the first one. The second one is called She Says She Loves Me. And I have it here in the list somewhere. Here it goes. She said she loves me. To hear some woman tell you she loves you is like having your mummified heart. It's like having your mummified heart suddenly come to life. An explosion of spring blossoming in your chest. You find yourself wrapped in this radiant warmth that you immediately recognize, but can't remember when you last felt it. This woman tells you she loves you, and you become electrified. Every atom and molecule in your body accelerating and colliding, a nuclear reaction that causes your heart to radiate right through you. She tells you she loves you, and the world just stops spinning. The only thing that matters is the lovely way those words fall from her luxuriously supple lips. She tells you she loves you, and all you want to do is keep that illuminating smile of hers on her face forever. You want to be her everything and make certain she wants for nothing. So you place your beating heart in her hands. Gracias.
Beautiful, my brother. Beautiful. Love is love. I just want to acknowledge just someone in our group here, and I just want to say hi. Hi, Elizabeth. Elizabeth's like, leave me alone. Okay, I just wanted to hear your voice, my sister. She's probably busy listening
She's
to.
on the chat, man.
Hey.
Happy to be here. I was listening. I was in the chat. I was like talking on my shit in the chat.
I got you. Thank you for coming by. I appreciate it. All right, so the last poet, I think she's being swamped over there by the little ones. Mala, you're the last poet on the mic tonight. You ready?
Yeah, I'm ready. Listen,
right.
now it's mommy's turn, okay? Ready? Okay, hold on. Stop. Sit down. Peace. Okay, ready?
Let me record you.
You can ask Papi for the phone.
I'll record you.
All right. Sorry. Mommyhood. Y'all bringing the open mics to my home now. See why I can't get out? All right. All right.
Just say yes,
so I'll do it. Be quiet. 1 second, please.
You put it on mute, man. You know she's giving them the words.
Yeah,
Man. You know she's giving them the words.
It's live TV, yo.
Wow. We about to watch a pow pow on video, son.
Oh, she turned off the camera.
Chancla! Masaka chancla!
The muffled noises in the back.
Oh shit. There we go.
There you go. They look like
Okay. They are not mourning you. Your tears are in vain. They are not mourning you.
Come hold it.
Your pain is irrelevant. Once
Round
Voy a
two.
sacar la correa. Voy a sacar la correa.
I love it.
Nah, he's just upset because he's not recording it.
Get up there now.
Now he's able to
It's
record
recording.
it.
Stop
Okay,
crying. You don't
ready?
have to cry in the background.
Okay. Here. Okay, you do the next one. They are not mourning you. Your tears are in vain. They are not mourning you. Your pain is irrelevant. Shock is difficult to hold. Electrifying sensations leave burnt skin, decomposing of what ifs and what could have been. A replay of moments stuck on repeat, only to remind each time like the first. Shake the etch-a-sketch shaped skull to erase the thought. Salte ya! Denial. Debris settles in the pit of the stomach. Ulcers are born of pain. Dolor birthed from swallowing grief whole without chewing. A forced feeding. Nutrition. But what nourishes death? What nourishes loss? Empty space zapped into the abyss. Boom! Gone. Final. You stare off into space, hoping to get a glimpse of something. Algo de ti, que me consuela que no te has ido. Silver-lined grays, silver-lined casket, silver-lined urns, silver-lined hearse, silver-lined clouds, silver-lined ghosts, outlined shell of your reflection. Rivers streaming, searching for their way home to an ocean, home to a body of water, a body mourning. The flash of lightning and thunder, a current without warning, a current without mourning, a wave off in the distant crashing into the sunset. Gone. Thank you.
Thank you so much to everybody who came by and hung out with us tonight. I'm sure we would have preferred being at Mil Mundos, and then afterward heading out to the Artichoke Pizza Shop up in Bushwick. But you know, these are the times. Keep writing, keep telling our stories, continue doing the work. For me, I'm deeply humbled that everyone came out and participated. Thank you to our amazing features, to Tina and to Thomas for rocking with us, for Thomas showing us how to use cue cards and use our space in our living rooms for Zoom. Now we know how to do it correctly. Thank you to Joel and Vero for blessing the open mic. That was awesome. Thank you so much to everyone for swinging by. I don't know if the guys want to say something. Profe or Isa?
Well, it's always a beautiful thing to see everybody in one place, and I think that spaces like this are important. We're going to continue to do it and support it. We have another open mic coming up in June. We're not sure the date yet, but once we know that, we'll definitely pass it on to everybody. It's my turn hosting, so I can't announce the feature yet, but when I do, y'all are gonna want to tune in. Trust me, we're working on it.
And I can only say thank you so much for tonight. Thank you for everyone that came here to the features. It was amazing being able to share the space with you during such a time when we can't physically be with each other, but we can still spiritually be with each other. So thank you all for coming out.
Props to Thomas and to Tina, rocking it like always. ¿Qué pasa, Elizabeth? I see you. Ill of fame, like always, man. Top shelf, top shelf. Good to see you, Isa, Rick, Mario, and everybody else on here. Papusa Poa, good to see you too, mama. Peace out.